Good morning, everyone. So I want to show you this. This is part about rapid visualization, and hopefully you're looking at this image right here. It's kind of this is a second generation perspective drawing, right? That came from a first generation, much more quick, much more rapid sketch that was done. And I want to take you through this journey in terms of how do we get here, right? How do we get from a quick sketch? And that's what I'm going to show you today, is kind of the rapid viz version of it. And I'm not going to do it right here in front of you guys. And I'm using a Micron 03 pen. That's what I'm going to use. I can use an 02, an 03, but I'm going to be very light with it, right? And I also have this one just in case I want to be a little thicker, right? I like using Micron or anything that has not a, you would say, a typical roller ball, but has felt on it that I can feel the pressure of the pen, because then I can control it a little bit better. So how do we go from here? And a couple of things I want you guys to kind of notice in the drawing itself is that this drawing has been cleaned up a lot, but there is some things that are overlapping, like up here in this area, right? But everything is following a vanishing point, and the vanishing point is right there, right? From right here, everything is going off of that, off of this. You see that? Everything, right? Of course, this is the 1 point. This is a project I worked on in 2016, right? Just for idea for a little dining facility area. And I want to go through these steps, and I showed you kind of the image of my steps. Kind of start with a point, add a scale figure, and then you start developing the perspective. And we're going to go with that in this drawing right now. So let me start right here. Start with that point, right? And then let's add some scale figures. I'm going to put somebody here, right? Maybe somebody in the foreground here. Another person over here, right? And this will be, remember, this is the horizon line right here. So quickly, and I always draw with pen, I'll just draw those figures. There's one person there, somebody here, maybe there's two people here. And then this person over here is going to be this tall, right? Just to give an idea of the space. Next, what I do is I'll draw the back wall, right? So the back wall, I'm going to place it right back here, right? So there's space between this person and the wall right there. Now, how big is that wall? Well, rapid viz for me, I'm using a grid, but it's in my mind. If this is the horizon line, I'm going to say that's 5 feet. And this facility was on 15 feet tall. So this is 10, if I double this, and then that's 15 right there. And it had a slope to it, but I'll start with that. And then this is kind of the initial back wall that I'm using right here. Right, it's the initial back wall. And I go all the way through here. Right, just go straight, go down. This is the initial back wall that I'm using. Now I'm going to extend those lines out, right? So my vanishing point, I'm going to keep it right here, right? That's the vanishing point. I'll make a dot there. And I'm going to extend this out, right? Extend this out here. And this one I'm going to extend out further this way. And this way. Right, so you can see that happening there. Now, this wall, if you notice this wall pops out and comes out that way, and then comes out this way. So what I'm going to do is, this wall actually extends further out here. And I'm going to pull this line out here like this. Yeah, right there, it'll be right around there. So why would I do that? Because I know that wall's going to come through here, and come up, and come out. Then I'm using the vanishing point to pull this out here. Right, you see how quickly I've done that space there? Now, this was an ideation sketch. This is a quick sketch, so I'm just trying to get the idea of the space out there. Now, this had this area. Also had this area that's kind of lower. This is kind of a sloped roof. So right here, I don't have a sloped roof, right? I'm not showing that part of it. But technically, this area, I'm gonna say it's going to go through here. I'll extend a little bit further out here. Right. Now look how quick these lines are. I'm just building the perspective. Rapid viz. Now, this is the area that's going to be taller right here. And this is going to slope down to a lower area right here. I'm just going to grab the vanishing point and pull from here now. Right, and this is going to be basically the same. Right there. There's going to be beams here, right? I had one beam here. And another beam. We'll put it over here. Another one here. Another one here. Right, that's so you can just quickly see that, the quick sketch. Right, so I'm developing that space there. I can already tell how the space is being constructed just by making these lines happen. Alright, so we got those areas. So I always start with the composition of looking at, do we have the raw walls in the right location? Does this feel proportionally correct? Right? And now I'm gonna kind of just, same pen, just make some of these lines like a little stronger than we have. Next things are gonna, this is the people. The people's gonna help me add the objects. Right? Then I'll add more detail on the walls and the ceilings. And then when I mean objects, like in the space here, like chairs and things like that. So this has a cleaned line variation of chairs here, right? See, there's no lines here. But when I'm doing an initial quick sketch, all I want to know is there's going to be a chair seating right here in this area. I'm doing it on the floor. There's going to be one over here. Toward this area, there's going to be some seating over here. Some seating over here. Right? There's going to be one over here. And I'll leave space. I'm going to put one over here. And I'm putting these on the floor just to know where they're going to be positioned. Right? Then I had some over here on this side here. Right? I'll do some of these. I'm following the vanishing point here. See that? That's that chair. Right. So I'm just doing that layout right there, the initial layout. Now I know this is a lower area of the ceiling right here, so I'm just going to highlight this here. All right. And I'll detail that a little bit later. So let's put these objects in. So let me start with these that I start with the ones that are up front first, because they're going to block anything that's in the back. Right? Anything that's in the back is going to be blocked out. So I'll look at the objects in the front. But see, that's why I draw it on the floor. So, okay, how tall is the table? Well, if this person's next to the table will probably be up to your hip or a little bit lower. So that's the hip, maybe lower. That's the height of the table right here. Right? This is going to be. This is the table right here. That's the legs, that's the table. I'm using this vanishing point to create the extension of the table. Oops, sorry. Right there, and here too. Then I'll go up to here. Right. And then we can have, maybe these are, I'm just gonna put benches for, this will be where you sit down, you'll be benches. That's it. And maybe you can put a chair here if you want. Again, I'm not telling you what style chair this is. I'm just kind of quickly drawing this chair here. This is kind of rapid viz. There's another bench over here. And there's another chair over here. See? Just getting the idea of what that is. There's another seat over here. I'm going to leave more space. I'm going to kind of put the bench here. I'm going to put another person here. Just to get an idea of the seating as well. So the height is this tall. Right? And I'm gonna say this is bench seating here. Legs for the bench. And there's gonna be a chair here. Following the vanishing point, guys. That's what I'm doing over here. The back of the chair. And then back here is a bench as well. See, I'm addressing everything there. And let's say there's another chair right here. Right there. That's what I would do. This is a quick sketch. Right. Then I'll go down to this side. I'm going to stand a person right here. And put a person right here. So this is a smaller two-seater table that's happening. So next to this person, probably be like that tall. Right. This is the chair, and this is the other chair right here. Right, and then back here there was another chair, so I'm the same height of this table is back here, but it's a lot smaller. You see that? Somebody standing here would be this tall. There was a column right over here. There was another one that came up kind of right over here. It's kind of right next to this table. I'm just gonna put it here. Right, and then there were some more chairs on this side here. Right, this ceiling here was a little bit lower. I'm just gonna pull this out from here. Even though this was my initial line, this is lower, so I put this a little bit lower right here. And just so you get an idea, I'm gonna make these lines here. So that's the lower area of that ceiling. Okay, perfect. And let me put these tables here. Same principle. This is the table height. Here's the legs of the chair. Again, we're just doing it quick. This is for rapid viz. It's like, what does my design look like? That's it. That's all I'll do. And then I know, okay, that's the objects. There's more chairs back here. Sorry, tables and chairs back here. So quickly I'm gonna do that. There's another one over here. Right, I can barely see these. So I'm just gonna be very, very loose and generic. You see that, guys? All right. Now the idea is for me, that's great. I got that idea. Now let's detail a little bit more. There's glass, there's windows here, windows here, windows there. There's a kind of wood wall here. So you can see what's happening, right? Glass, wood, right? There's kind of this truss happening here, this hanging member there. So let's do that hanging member, which is here. Because see, if I draw all these trusses in detail, this is gonna block it off. So I know it's an object there. So how would we draw that straight? This is angled, so this is gonna be a straight object that's going right above this area. So it's gonna start right here. I'm gonna use the vanishing points to extend that. Right, extend this out right here. And I'm gonna make this straight. Give it some depth. Right, there's an opening in the middle of this. Right, there's a thickness to this right here, and these things they have some wood, right? And there were some lights on this. And that's hanging from the ceiling. I'll put those details a little bit later now. So now let's have fun and detail this. Let's go. Let's start with this back wall here, and then work our way up. This is some detail here. This is kind of this wall's a little bit indented. There's an artwork on this wall. Following the vanishing point, see that? That's the artwork. Let's make it abstract. There it is. And there's this area. It's gonna go like this here. Close here. Right. There'll be a baseboard. Right. And now this was divided into segments. 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I'll do it like that. 1 here, 2 here, 3 there. Right? Yeah, we're trying to be quick. This is not the final drawing. This is just for you to get an idea of what the space looks like. You as the interior designer, you as the architect, you as the designer, you would say. What does this space look like? Right. And then up here, this is kind of the area where it's these trusses. Right? That's the edge truss right there. And I'm gonna say that that's the edge, and there was that's window as well too. And this is the truss, one truss here. See the thickness right here happening, right? I'm going to now detail these trusses here just by doing this. All right, let me do that. And I'll detail this a little bit like this. I mean, again, imagine, this is quick. This is not supposed to be the final one. But I do want you to have a general idea of what you're seeing in the space. Okay, so there's a thickness to this wood. Right, there's a thickness to this wood here. A thickness to that wood. See, all those lines, they make a difference. They make a difference. Then we have, this is the column piece I had here. I'm just gonna detail it that way. We'll go on this wall here. In between these trusses, we had windows happening. The windows would be in between, so it'll be these right here, right? In between, and in here, right? Everything else there is solid. That's solid, this is window, right? And you can make this thick if you want to, give it a thickness here. Right, those details help. There was another member. Now notice, let me go back to my initial drawing. There was this floating member here. So let's say I did forget to add it here, like, oh, there's something hanging from here. Well, you just have to go over the drawing. Like, where is it actually hanging? Over this table here in this area, right? You would make kind of a line right here, right? Let's put it like right, let's put it lower. Let's put it right here. And this is gonna come out, right? Maybe it's that thick. And come out through here. And that's hanging. Probably attached to the piece of wood right there. Right? And these were light fixtures. And this is made out of wood. So that's what you would do to put it there. Right? In a second generation drawing, you would clean that up. You would clean that up. So we have that. This area, let me be clear with this. This is like a right here, and this area is indented in the space right there. You see that? And there were some lights in here too. Like, this is around where there's glass. There's another art piece right here on this wall. This wall is flat, lit by art. And then we had these big, beautiful window frames, right, that extend. I'm gonna leave it right there just so you can see it. There'll be thickness to this. Even if it's a quick sketch, you still want to put thickness to the floor, the frames, right? There's never going to be just one single line. There'll be a thickness to everything you draw, right? And this is basically glass. I'm just going to show you that as glass. So technically we'll see what's out here. And we make this very light. So if there was like in the drawing, I have like a planter or something. So I'm going to put this planter very light, one there, one here. And I'm still following the vanishing point. And then maybe there's some plants here outside that you see happening. Maybe there's some people standing out there, right, waiting to get in because this is a popular place, right? So if you get to see that outside as well. Hopefully you're seeing this develop right in front of your eyes. We're going from this to this. Now notice this is clean, these lines here, right? This is going to be a little bit, this is first generation, so it's a rapid viz. It's a quick sketch, right? Just to see that portion of it. So let's go on this side now, right? Let's go on this side here, right? This was a wall that was made out of wood, had wood texture on it. I know I have this column here, so I'm not gonna go over it. I don't have to. Like, this is wood, so I'm just gonna create these thick 6-inch, 8-inch planks, right? And if it's quicker, you can go like this if you want, or go down. That's all I would do. And then onto the left side, we have similar window treatments like we had on this side over here. So let me pull this out. Let me give this a thickness, and let me break this up. This will be here, one pane. There'll be another pane here, and another pane here. Now I'm growing these windows panes because they're, as you get further away, it gets thicker, right? So again, there's thickness to this, thickness to this, thickness to this, thickness. And then this will be, so I was thickness as well right here, right? Those details really help out the drawing. And there was an in-between line right here. Right, because it was that window pane. And in this one, if you notice, I did something different. This one had a like a wall here, and then the window. And I didn't put that here, but easily, the wall starts right above the tables. Follow the vanishing point. Don't create these lines. And that becomes that wall right there. And this, of course, is the windows. Right, see that? Now, this is basically, I've been doing this, talking to you as I draw this. This would have been a lot quicker if I didn't kind of talk through the steps. And now it's just about adding details, right? Let's say right above these elements we had some light fixtures hanging. And we're just going to put these here. And this will be one light fixture here, another one here, another one here, another one here. And I'm going to use a vanishing point and extend this out and just do this like dot, 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 dot. That's how low this is going to hang. 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 Of course, thickness. Right, thickness. Right, thickness of this. Let's make this larger. Right, that's it. And there was some lights maybe over here on the edges that you had. This is being held up by this, right? This is going into this wall. This is like a thick beam you see there, right? This is going into this area right here, right? And then we have the kind of like you would say the top here was wood, right? You see it's wood right there. Now I'll do is follow the vanishing point and go in between here. Right, I'm just going to create some lines here. What I like to do is create these lines following the vanishing point, like at the moments where I see it turn or change. And now I just fill it in between, right? Like this. This will be like this. quickly. Of course, if you had a straight edge, this will be a lot. But we're doing freehand, right? Doing freehand, bending this. Because these are these wood planks, right? And there you go. That's what you have, right? And if you notice, I'm gonna put a person right here, right there. And this drawing that I have here, I have these down streaks here, right? See, I have more details here, and that creates this idea of reflectivity. If the floor is reflective, we add some of these, right? And that creates this idea of reflectivity happening in the drawing. All right, this is the same drawing I did in 2016, so 4 years later, Navarro 20, right? Quick, rapid viz, using an 03 pen. You can, of course, come in here and start adding detail. Like if you go slow with the pen, you create thicker lines, right, where you want. But what I do usually is just do a 15-20 minute sketch real quick. Then I'll go back over this with a clean sheet of paper, right? And then literally go over the lines that are kind of getting a little bit muddy, like around here, like this area here, or detail like what this actually really looks like. I know the scale, the shape, and then I kind of go to the second generation where I have the detail of the object and what it actually looks like for real, right? An object, things like this get cleaned up. So guys, that's your rapid viz, right? Your task for today is to go through this process. Look at this one point, right? And I'll share my screen, and I'm gonna give you guys 25 minutes. Right, 25, okay, let's do 30 minutes, see how far you can get on this drawing. Remember, start with the point and start going and out, right? Enjoy it. Navarro.